It's Week 11 of the NFL, and we'll be watching the Oilers' leader at quarterback. He's been sensational as he leads the league in touchdown passes. It's the Oilers and the Falcons, and it's coming up next.
The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Houston Oilers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they interplay. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, the beat goes on, doesn't it? A perfect 10-0 to start the campaign.
And it's a good locker room to be in, too. Guys don't show up on game day hoping to win. They expect to win. And so far, they've yet to have a letdown.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Hooker. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
2 plays so far, run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. A miserable start here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and very long. Here's Hooker. Forced out to his left. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Fielded at the 43. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
A man who was the Georgia State High School Player of the Year in 2020. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. The numbers for Gibbs from last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. So Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they played. I mean, the defense too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Gibbs. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Gibbs is into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Anders Carlson now for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs. So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Hooker. And his throw here's incomplete. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game.
He tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Reek Woolen. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Even after the penalty, still a full 7 yards to go on 3rd down. Hooker. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
At the 46-yard line.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. As they've got it as we resume action. Second down and a run by Robinson. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Third down, Hooker looks to throw it, and that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep, and on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
It's a well-designed play here. 3 wide receivers in the formation. They're all going to run deep routes to put pressure on the safeties. And then they let their tight end cut his route off a little shorter and work toward the middle of the field. That's a difficult route to try to defend.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Cox. His throw incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 2nd down, here's Gibbs. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
He didn't have the touchdown run earlier, but a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any run in recent memory. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be ridden out of bounds down inside the 25. A huge play there for Houston. 44 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Cox. He's got it complete to Gibbs. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Holding offense.
That's on the tackle, Panay Sewell. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings him to third down.
So I think we call defense in this one. There's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down. Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Fourth down to give to Gibbs. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Luke Musgrave. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Oilers go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Carlson's extra point up and good. And it's now 14-0. Carlson back out there now to send this one away. We'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Well, the Falcons now going to go on offense late in this first half. They're certainly in need of some kind of points here before the end of the half. A field goal or something. Being shut out right now, they could really use some momentum before they head into halftime. On 1st and 10, Hooker eluding the... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team They lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. He rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. It's DJ Turner who's got it, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see, currently, they trail in that ball game. Elijah Moore, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. In the first half, it was the Alabama man, Jahmyr Gibbs, who had it cooking. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break, but I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come. We're just about set to get back to it. Both teams making their final adjustments, and we'll head back to Atlanta and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Taking it about the 1. And he returns this to the 22. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
This is 2nd and 8. Off play action. Cox. That pass caught. It's Williams. That one good for 26 and a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Gibbs straight ahead. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 63 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
They'll go again with Gibbs. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, That allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled him with the inside run.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That is caught by Laporta. Touchdown! Sam Laporta with career touchdown number 60. And the Oilers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Now Carlson for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown.
Anders Carlson to kick off.
So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. Hooker to throw on 1st and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Payne. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun, Hooker escaping the pressure right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's Hooker to throw it. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. 2nd and 10. Robinson up the middle. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Hooker going to try and throw for it. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Houston's offense taking over again. This game was really a tussle, seemed like just a moment ago, and now they've got the momentum. A couple of scores on their last pair of drives, and a 2-score lead. I think here now you go conservative, right? Run the football, work the clock. They've got his man, complete. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Houston. Jamison Williams, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Oilers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Carlson's extra point up and good, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the 4th quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one. Hooker on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling has been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra.
Pressure comes and down he goes. Troy Anderson applying the pressure and picking up the sack.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now. And if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Deep.
They have pressure coming, and they got him once again. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And how about this for a setup? The ball will go over on downs at the 1-yard line. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Christian Watson there to make the grab. And the Oilers have 11-0 in their sights as they add on to their lead. Carlson's extra point up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Carlson back out there now to send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. Breaks through the contact. And he'll weave all the way up to just a few yards shy of midfield. A great return. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try to pick themselves back up.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing. Hooker. Quick hitter here. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Hooker's going to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Payne. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. They'll go for it. Hooker. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Now, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Going back to Gibbs on 1st down. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Throw left side, caught by Laporta. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, this has been another impressive display by this undefeated team, Charles, and it looks like they're going to stay that way after this one.
Yeah, one of the league's best offenses. They've stayed on brand in this contest because they continue to look good at what they do. Just added a late touchdown. Now they're really hammering home just how good they've been all year long, letting the rest of the league take notice.
Carlson's extra point up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the gate. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Well, one of the linebackers has got it. And he's got his guys set up great now. 1st and goal. And the Pigs get at the 7-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
to give. Here's Gibbs. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may have been turned into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Carlson's extra point up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Carlson to kick off.
So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
At the 26-yard line.
To throw on second down, here's Hooker. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down. Well, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was saved. They wanted to play as big a part in this game as their offense did in making this blowout. They needed to be noticed as well, and they played accordingly.
So for Houston, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the